Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. The scarecrows are out here in the field and the fall colours have diminished a little bit over here in Seahaven, but the field is still here, which I'm very happy about. I like that as an addition. Whoa! Speed beacon just kicked in along with all of the other stuff, including jump boost. Oh, can't quite make it up the top of there. That was me trying to get to the second story. Oh, we can parkour our way over Cirque's Die Shop, which I have been patronising quite frequently, and by that I don't mean I've been talking down to it. I mean I've been buying lots of stuff because Cirque's Die Shop has been a pretty consistent source of the dye I've been using for the station platform. And the station is coming along very well, by the way. I thought we would take a break from that today, but brilliant. He's restocked with grey dye and ink sacks. This is very good news for me. All right, so we're going to take a break, as I said, from the station stuff today. And we're going to take a quick look around Seahaven because, goodness me, something has popped up here. This is a Santa who's got a faraway look in his eyes and seems to be singing some sort of jolly tune. He's like, ah, ah. He's got Christmas carols on the brain, apparently. There's some signs up here. What does Santa's belly say to us? Merry Christmas! It's not quite Christmas yet, but close enough. Click the button and open that chest for a gift. Click the button and open... Okay, numbered chests and dispenser. Okay, gotcha. I wanted to say thank you to everyone for welcoming me to the server. It's been great fun. And it's from Whip. Awesome stuff, man. This is really cool. I kind of want this to stay here, to be honest. He's got like a kind of wooden doll sort of look to him, like a Russian doll sort of look, almost. I don't know. Feels like inside of this Santa should be a smaller Santa, and inside of that... Anyway, we'll click this. We'll get a chest number 1. Chest number 1 present is... Oh, an enchanted book and some diamond horse armor. Thank you so much. Oh, it feels like Christmas. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. I'm going to leave the paper in there just because I feel like somebody might get a nasty surprise if they ended up clicking on this and then getting the same one that someone else had already got, so I won't put it back. But thank you so much for the presents. Really appreciate that. I'm going to put this in my ender chest so that I can pick it up later when I'm at the temple and put it in the appropriate storage chests. Oh, my ender chest is a mess. Look at all this. Santa is there, but the rest of Seahaven is looking pretty much as it was before. Nash's soon-to-be shop is looking a little bit overgrown. Or either that or she's selling tall grass, one of the two. So, and there are plenty of oxeye daisies around here for some reason, so maybe it is some kind of garden shop. But I'm going to do a bit of building around Seahaven myself today, and it's mainly going to be an aesthetic build. I don't really have any plans for a shop or anything like that. I think a lot of the stuff that people would buy from me, they can probably just buy elsewhere, and I've heard that a certain dye king has been going around sending interesting communications to anybody who has a dye shop or a dye farm of any kind. So chances are that if we opened up some sort of cocoa bean farm, which was the only other thing I could think of, the Dye King will be paying us a visit. So maybe I don't want to attract his attention just yet. Maybe instead we will stick to an aesthetic build. And I thought because this wheat field has expanded so much, it could do with a windmill. Because windmills aren't just pretty buildings. They are also essentially what people used to use to grind wheat into flour back in the day. Windmills, watermills, that kind of stuff, they all used to be for turning wheat into flour that people could make into bread. So I reckon somewhere around here, because this path has come up recently. I'm not sure entirely who's done this. If I was had to hazard a guess, I would say it might even be the work of Oviraptor, who doesn't play on the server all that much and doesn't make videos all that much anymore, but is a big fan of building paths. So it's either him or one of the streamers like KB has been through here with a road, and I think this line of cobblestone is probably another road that's kind of heading off towards that forest and towards KB's Dragon Skull portal over there. Is it Dragon Skull? I built it, I should know. I think it's some sort of dinosaur skull thing. Anyway, and so I think at the intersection between these two roads, because it would be a kind of place you wanted to visit, I'm going to build a windmill. And it's probably just going to be my one chunk mill design, because I think that's like peak windmill for me. You know what I mean? That's probably my favorite windmill I've ever designed, so I don't really want to deviate from that design too much. I might use a little bit of local wood, because we have a lot of dark oak around here, so that seems like the pretty obvious thing to do. But even dark oak forests have the occasional birch and oak tree in, so maybe I'll be able to use mostly dark oak and then mix in the other wood types here and there. But I'm going to get on with that build. We might do it in the form of a time-lapse just because, and I will see you guys on the other side. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed the time-lapse, and right now I'm just finishing up the one thing that we didn't manage to do in the time-lapse itself, which is the sails of the windmill. And this should be fairly straightforward to do, so we're not going to take too much time out of the episode to do this. One other thing I wanted to do is go over to Bjaydubya's base, because he mentioned that he had a bunch of villagers available that he was no longer using and was absolutely fine to get rid of. And there's a pretty easy portal access from his base over through the Nether hub to my place now, so I don't know if we're going to divert them all via the station. Maybe we'll have to hack into the tracks somewhere along the way that take them to my base. But I want to set up some villagers over at the jungle villager spot, which I built in a previous episode but haven't yet had the chance to use. So I reckon while we've got a little bit of time left over in the episode, we're going to have a crack at that. There we go, all tidied up except for maybe the build chest at the front, and the windmill is sitting pretty by its wheat field. I like that. I think it actually fits in with the landscape really well, which is a good thing. Now, some of the sheep that I've been breeding up seem to have started to escape. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but anyway, not going to worry too much about that. In fact, I might leave the white wool over here, because wool, it turns out, is... Excuse me, just placing it in the wheat field. Wool is a little bit difficult to gather if you don't have access to a string farm or something like that. And I've been shearing these guys here and there, as you can see. But yeah, I think the string farm is probably the way to go. But for people who might want wool to build with around here, there you go. I'm going to try not to spoil Germ's house that you might have seen him building in the time-lapse. But there we go. We're going to head over to BJ's place, check out this villager breeder, and see what the situation is. Alright, welcome to Bjaydubya Town. And this, for those of you guys who are wondering about the geography of this place, is right next to the crash site. This is where BJ originally set up, and I didn't think he was going to be building much here. I thought he might have come over the hill over that way to join us in Seahaven, but he has been doing work. He's been very, very busy setting stuff up here, and he's got farming and stuff on the way. He's got a bunch of medieval-style buildings, and he actually has a series that he started now, because for a while he was just playing kind of solo on the server and not making videos, but it seems like he has started to kick into gear at last, and is... Oh, there's villagers. What are you trading? You're like official trading. There's a Fletcher here. If only I brought my string with me. Although he seems to be out of the string trade right now. There's a pretty good setup here right now. And there are some tracks. I will follow the tracks. And that will take me, of course it will, to the villager breeder. The villager storage, at least. It's humanely done, of course. We don't hurt villagers here. They're just taking a bath. They're awesome. But yeah, it looks like we've got a fair few in here. There's a couple of nitwits here and there, which, you know, I've been considering doing something with the nitwits, not necessarily, you know, bringing them into trade, but just kind of having them around the place, perhaps as zombie decoys, or perhaps just as, I don't know, some kind of, some sort of decoration. It's nice to have them around in a way, but obviously nitwits are the useless ones. They're the ones who don't have trades in the slightest. Where does this track go? All the way up into the mountains. I wonder if I'll be disturbing anything if I take some of this and use it to get stuff from BJ's portal to my own. Oh, and this is the actual villager breeder, isn't it? Because that's the cell where the villager sits. Nice one. Okay, cool. So it looks like he's pretty much done taking stuff from here for now, but I don't want to disturb this because there's a water stream there and stuff. Like, I don't know how he's transporting them down to his villager breeder. This track might still be active, so I reckon I probably need to get a bunch of rails of my own. I'll go see if KB has some, or I'll just craft some out of the supplies that I have back at the temple. And we'll see about getting some villagers over there. Okay, and after a bit of finagling, I think we're ready for test number 1. Now, I don't know for certain that this is going to be effective, so we're going to try our best. And I've broken a couple of bits in BJ's base, but I promise I will put them back. Now, these guys are pretty much overflowing, which means if we just pop a minecart here. Is this gonna pick one of them up? It did. Fantastic. Okay, and you are probably some sort of butcher type of thing, and this guy should end up over here. And if we tap the minecart like so, oh dang it, he comes out the other side. All right, well, in that case, we'll probably reroute the track around here. I'm sorry, BJ, there's a villager loose in your setup right now. I will probably turn the track around here because there's a certain way in which if you pop a villager out of a minecart, they get displaced at a certain angle. Oh, are you going to pop in the minecart now? Are we going to be able to recapture you? No, apparently not. Okay. He's, like, thoroughly confused by this whole situation. And, of course, because the minecart's an entity, it's just gone through the portal. Fantastic. Well, at least I brought a shulker box of the things, so that's not too much of a bother. Oh, shulker boxes over that minecart rail. Did not know that. You, excuse me, kind of need you to step down here and onto this track, if you don't mind. If you'd be so good, you know, just, I know you're talking to your friend. I know you've got a bit of business in there. You got to chat. You got to talk shop with this guy who's a librarian with a feather falling trade. What else have you got? Smite Frostwalker. Oh, very cool. Okay, well, I'm afraid we're probably going to have to interrupt this conversation because get in the minecart. I'll put a minecart there, so hopefully he will walk into that. And in the meantime, we'll take this over and we'll grab a couple more. And here's hoping that we can get a few in there. Now, I have made preparations in the Nether for a whole bunch of these guys to arrive, so hopefully, with any luck... Yes, okay, we should start to... Excuse me? I thought he might have been getting caught on the shulker box. I think maybe he was getting caught on me instead. Let's try this. Oh, and it's bounced the minecart. Oh, gosh. Okay, well... well, he's just gone somewhere completely different. I've no idea where the rest of that track leads. There we go. Now get back on the rail, dude. This is this is ridiculous. I don't normally do this. This is why I wanted to save this for a day when I didn't have a great deal of other stuff going on. Because, yeah, these guys are a pain to move. So get over there, and if I clear the other minecart off of the track, that would probably be a great idea to do that first, wouldn't it? Right, you, cease, stop, there we go. Just about broke that in time, and get back on the rail and go that way, please. If you'd be so good, if you wouldn't mind. Where's the other guy gone? Oh gosh, they're everywhere. Right, let's see what happens if we drop you there. Yes, okay, he went through. Fantastic. Okay, so he did get displaced into the portal. It didn't show up that way for some reason, but he's in there now. So before we load the Nether back in, let's at least get a few more guys into the minecart and get them a-moving. Whatcha! Get in the portal. Yes, okay. All right, now this is going a little bit better now that I've got the rhythm down a little bit. So I'm going to move a few more of these guys in, and I'll catch you guys on the Nether side when we're ready to move them to the jungle. Well, they're pretty much everywhere. They're on both sides of the portal. I imagine a few of them will probably end up going back through. So let's get this show on the road now, shall we? We need to get some guys coming out of here and into minecarts on this side. I should have picked up a few minecarts as I came through the portal. Now all we need to do is get one of these guys to step into that cart, and they should be on their way. And, of course, this is the point at which they start crawling all over the place trying to get out. Now, none of them seem to be getting into the minecart. There we go. Okay, we got one. Fantastic. I've just got to keep here, and that guy should be going all the way to the other end. It looks like that's all going okay, and there's no point at which they should be really getting into trouble. So, here's hoping, right? So, let's send a couple down, and then let's follow them and see where they get to. Come on, we want the purple guy there. Want the purple guy there. There's a ton of nitwits in here as well, which isn't too bad. I think half of them have just gone back through the portal, so we might have to go and deal with that situation in a second. Come on, fellas. There we go. Purple guy's in the cart. Fantastic. And this nitwit will probably just end up roaming the Nether forever at this point, right? Let's head down this way. Hopefully, they shouldn't have got into too much of a mess on the opposite end, and we'll see how we get on. Of course, one of them is immediately coming back at me. And this is where things get a little bit dicey, because we have ghasts floating around out here, and it looks like that was the only one. Fantastic. And these guys have made it through. Brilliant. That's really all I wanted at this stage, and hopefully if we take that out... Yes, okay, he's gone through. Oh, good. That's a massive relief. So we have at least one villager, and now two villagers through to the other side, where there should be a holding cell in the jungle ready and waiting for them. So it looks like our maximum capacity over here is 2, so I'm going to have to send them through 2 at a time, which is a bit of a pain, but I might be able to take a shortcut via the station, actually, thinking about it. This will make it a little bit easier for me to get back, of course, if I don't just throw the minecart down the rail. Luckily, I've got a whole bunch of these things ready and waiting, so once I stop derping around, we can get back over there and hopefully should be able to transfer a whole bunch of villagers over to the jungle. Well, folks, here they are. Here they are in their brand new home, or near enough. Anyway, I'm probably going to have to do some damage control pretty quickly. I thought I'd put some sort of holding cell around here, but apparently I haven't. But we have a whole bunch of villagers here and hopefully I should be able to shuttle them into a couple of positions in here where they can set up stalls and so forth. But that is probably going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching Decidedly Vanilla. Leave a like on today's episode if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.